Hello peeps, welcome to Sundays with Sparky. I'm not sure what the jazz hands are for, but you get some jazz hands today. I am more tired than the sun right now, but I'm happy. I'm really happy because something has happened that I didn't expect to happen. The Matt Sparks 3.0 channel has hit 305 subscribers as of today. Isn't that amazing? Just before the end of the year, we just nip in right at the post. 305. I really didn't expect to hit 300 before the end of the year. So I kept seeing it creep up little by little, and here we are, 305. Amazing. So thank you very much. If you're a new subscriber and you're watching this, thank you so much. Big thumbs up to you. It's much appreciated. Hopefully you'll find some stuff here that will keep you entertained, even if it's just the Hearthstone stuff. Yeah, awesome. Thank you very much. Okay, that being said, let's talk about other stuff, because I need to get this out quick because it's getting late and I've been at work and I'm tired and I need to get this done. So let's get this going and I'll stop rambling. Okay, so this week we had some more Warlords of Draenor leveling. We had the huge tank thing that you had to defend with the turret section before blowing up the Dark Portal. Amazing. Just great. Just really good. So that's like the end part of like the tutorial type stuff. When you create if you use the character boost to level 90, by the time you finish all of that, that's when you've got all of your abilities, and you know you're kind of ready to go basically. So that's just like an introduction into. Well, it's an introduction into WoW as well, but it's an introduction into the expansion. So really cool. So the actual like proper questing and proper adventuring will begin tomorrow when I put up the next episode. So that's going to be cool. So look out for that. On Wednesday we had some new TTT with some buddies of mine. We had Grayson from over at Bro City Checkpoint. We had Andres. We had the Magumps. We had Suki. So it's all good. And yes, we like getting together and having a bit of a laugh and playing that game. It's a shame that we didn't have more time because we've all been super busy over kind of Christmas kind of time, I suppose. So trying to find time to get us all together at the same time has been pretty tricky, but we managed it. We managed to get together for about an hour and a half, 2 hours, so I managed to get some footage, so that was nice. Hopefully once everything calms down a bit, after kind of Christmas and New Year is all done and dusted, we'll be able to get a few more of those done and ready to go, because that would be cool. And then finally on Friday we had the big deck player as usual, and this time it was a Goblins versus Gnomes Ramp Druid. That deck was pretty fun to play, and I think it's one I'm going to keep to one side for when I get to higher ranks, if I get to higher ranks, because I think the end of the season is upon us, so maybe I won't be able to use it until next season. But yeah, I'd suggest if you're playing in sort of like rank 12 or higher, that you give it a look. Okay, movies. Movies. I'm going to tell you about a couple of movies that I've watched this week, and then we're going to move on to the big thing. Alright? So, the first thing I watched this week was Transformers Age of Extinction. This is not my copy. This is a copy that I have borrowed from somebody. Let me just say that I am glad I have not spent money to watch this movie. I would suggest that you don't spend money on watching it either. It was okay. That is literally all I can say about it. If you want a good movie, probably don't watch it. If you do want a good movie with proper acting in it, then maybe you'll want to try the film that I watched, the second film that I watched this week, which was The Silver Linings Playbook. This movie is amazing. I was like, I'm not sure that I'm going to want to watch this. It looks like a girly film. That was my initial response. It looks like a bit of a girly film. It's not a girly film. First and foremost, it is not a girly film. If you were thinking that it was a girly film or like a romantic kind of drama type movie, it is kind of, but you've got some fantastic actors in it. First and foremost, Bradley Cooper, Jennifer Lawrence, and Robert De Niro, to name the main three, are all fantastic in this movie. They're all just like spot on. You cannot get better. Like, just so good. But the reason I think I liked it so much is that it deals with, I mean, the two main characters have some kind of mental health problem. It is so good. It is refreshing. After watching Transformers Age of Extinction, which was just CGI and explosions, it was refreshing to see something that was essentially quite just a simple film. There was no CGI in it, there were no explosions in it, it was just people acting and people being people. And it was really good. Even De Niro himself in this movie, his character isn't quite normal, I guess. It's a horrible word. I hate using the word normal, because what is normal? What is normal to you is probably going to be not normal to me. So I don't like using that word, but I couldn't think of anything better at the time. Last year, if you've been with me for that long, which most of you probably haven't, but last year I did a top 7 movies, my own personal top 7 movies of 2013, and so I'm going to do one for this year, for 2014. So, although these are in no particular order, I've kind of put them in an order. So make of that what you will. Okay, so first off, at number 7 is Lucy with Scarlett Johansson. I really enjoyed this film, mainly because it wasn't what I was expecting. The visuals were great, Scarlett Johansson was great. The way that it went, I was expecting it to be kind of more like The Matrix or something, and it wasn't. But that was kind of good. So that's my number 7. Number 6, X-Men: Days of Future Past. That was possibly the best X-Men movie they have ever made, and as a result, it kind of they kind of made up for some of the previous X-Men movies that were a bit rubbish. So that's good. And it's set up for the next one as well. X-Men First Class was great. I really enjoyed it. And when they said they were going to do another one which has kind of crossing the timelines, I was like, I'm not sure this is going to work. But it did. Number 5, Chef. Bit of a surprise one in there. Right, so yes, Jon Favreau's in it. He was like the main actor and director. But it also has Robert Downey Jr., Scarlett Johansson again, and Dustin Hoffman, and some other people as well. And it's really good, really good. And it's about a chef who kind of, he wants to create, he wants to be, as a chef, he wants to make new things and try things and experiment and be creative. And the restaurant that he's working in is basically saying, this is the menu, you make the menu. And he's like, oh, but we've got this thing, and it's, look at this, isn't it fantastic? And they're like, it's not the menu, just make the menu. And yeah, and he goes a little bit off the rails, and then he finds something that he loves doing, and the movie kind of progresses from there. And there is some fantastic food in that movie, so it's a good movie for like a date night. Alright. What's next on the list? Next on the list, The Hobbit, The Battle of the Five Armies. Because It was great. The battle scenes in that movie were worth waiting for. They were fun and they were epic and so good. Yeah, I'd say that the battle scenes were on par with Helm's Deep from The Two Towers. So if you like those movies, then you'll like this one. At number 3, we have Gone Girl, which was Ben Affleck and Rosamund Pike. Both fantastic performances from both of them. Just really, really good. Again, this was another film that went a way that I didn't expect. The trailers kind of lead you to believe that it's going to be a story about one thing, and it actually is not quite as simple as that. So, if you haven't seen Gone Girl, you should see it. These are all movies that I would recommend that you see at some point, because they're all good. They're all good. Number 2, Captain America, The Winter Soldier. Oh yes. That movie, one of the best Marvel movies that I had seen to that point. It was spot on. The story was really good. Really interesting, and I wasn't really sure what to expect from it. Because I hadn't read the comics, so I had no idea. It was a little predictable in places, but generally the story was good. The theme was what I liked the most. Knowing kind of potential threats before they happen, in a kind of Minority Report-esque kind of fashion. And it kind of just... because they're basically spying on everyone, and it kind of just... the time that it came out was the time that all the kind of fiasco to do with the NSA spying on people and stuff come out, and we're still getting kind of things to do with that coming to light now. So I think it's quite topical, as well as just being a comic book movie. It's touching on some things that affect us now in our daily lives. So that's why I liked it a bit more than some of the previous Marvel comic movies. And then at number 1, my favourite movie of the year. So good I went to see it twice. Guardians of the Galaxy. Had to be Guardians of the Galaxy, really. It couldn't have been anything else. When I first heard about it, I was like, I have no idea what this is about. I don't know who any of these people are. But it's a Marvel movie, so I'll probably go watch it. And I did. And I loved it. So I went to go and see it again. And I loved it even more the second time. The soundtrack for that movie was just amazing. It was just so good. So good. And the colour palettes that they use in that great film are great. It's such a colourful film. And they use lots of like great contrasting colours and stuff as well. Like you've got Gamora, who's got like a really cool green skin. And then you've got Drax that's got like this kind of grey with red tattoos. They just look awesome. Like just stood next to each other, they just look amazing. Like the actual like prosthetics and makeup and stuff just look fantastic. Possibly my favourite over Avengers from the Marvel universe, which is weird because I actually knew the characters that were in Avengers, and they had lots of movies that kind of, you know, led up to the Avengers. But Guardians was just, it was just amazing. It was just really good. Really good. Did I tell you how good it was? Because it's really good. And you should watch it. And you should love it. And you should embrace it. And you should maybe make out with it a little bit. Alright, you don't have to do the last bit. But all the rest of it you can do. There was lots of other movies that I've seen. But these were my favourite 7. Why 7? I don't know. I think it was because last year I did 7. Because I couldn't think of... I had 5, but then I wanted to include 2 more, so I did 7. But then didn't have enough to do 10, so there's 7. So this year we're doing 7 as well. Alright, so that's why. I'm going to go because this video is going to be really long. And I shall see you next week, which will actually be next year. So Happy New Year. I hope 2015 is a happy and healthy and prosperous one for you. And yeah, I guess I'll see you next year. Wow. Bye. Bye then. Bye then. Go. We'll go there. We'll get going.